G'day guys, Fitcho here and welcome back to my MotoGP 18 career mode. Today we're here for episode number 13 and the 6th round of the Moto3 World Championship, and today we are heading to one of my favourite tracks on the entire game. We are heading to Italy, Rossi country. We're going to Mugello, of course. Let's go. We are here at the legendary Mugello circuit for today's qualifying session. Now, if I do remember correctly, back to last season in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, this was the first pole position that I did get here at Mugello, so I was quick here. So I think today we should be in for a decent session. Hopefully we can try to battle CANET and Jorge Martin for that pole position. I'm not 100% sure how we're going to go. Our practice times weren't that great. That said, I was trying to do those development tests, so that's usually not a great indication. But looking back at last season, we were quick here, and hopefully we can come out here and have another strong weekend. Whoa, Fabio Di Gianantonio, what are you doing? He was coming right across onto the racing lines. I'm coming down the straight like 230 kilometers an hour, about to break for San Donato on my first qualifying lap, and he's just minding his own business, coming out of the pits, and he's fucking swerving onto the racing line. That was a little bit scary, but we've gotten through there unscathed. We can keep going on this lap. Right, first lap on the board, a 1:59.9. That is not the quickest time in the world. It's about 0.6 of a second off what they were doing in practice, the quick guys. But still, that wasn't a good lap. We had that incident with Di Gianantonio down at turn number 1, of course. And it's also only my first lap in qualifying. I always find speed throughout the session as the session goes on. My first lap is never the best indication. So I think with that time on the board, we could be in for a decent session. Ooh, a 59.3. We positioned ourselves really nicely for a good tow down the pit straight, and we are still getting this tow as we head onto this very next lap in qualifying. We're just going to go up the inside of Tatsuki Suzuki. Now we have gotten that nice tow, and see if we can set yet another quick lap time. Right, Jorge Martin has just gone and bettered our time by less than 1/10 of a second, but we are an absolute cracker of a lap. What is this time going to be? It's going to be a 58.7, another half a second quicker than Jorge Martin, and we move back onto provisional pole position. So that is going to do it for qualifying here in Mugello. No one else could break into the 1:58, so I'm going to be starting tomorrow's Italian Grand Prix from pole position. Aaron Canet did improve to a 1:59.0. Jorge Martin didn't actually improve again in that session, staying on a 1:59.3, so it's very spread out at the top of the field. 3/10 between first and second, and another 3/10 between second and third, but then it starts to get a little bit closer. Fabio Di Gianantonio, Lorenzo Della Porta, and Niccolo Antonelli lining up on the second row of the grid. It is race day here in Mugello. The clouds have built up over the circuit, but no rain is falling, thankfully. That's what we want, a nice dry race. We've clearly got good pace in the dry around this Mugello circuit. We're starting in pole position. Hopefully we can get off to a good start and convert this into another race victory. It is race time here in Mugello. Grab the clutch, revs up, bike in gear, traction control off, the lights are on. And it's lights out, and away we go. The Italian Grand Prix is underway, and again, I've gotten off to a reasonable start. We're going to try to get across into the slipstream of Aaron Canet, as Jorge Martin and Canet have got better starts than us, but into their slipstream we go. We've actually got a nice tow down to the first corner, up the inside of Jorge Martin and up the inside of Aaron Canet. Don't go in the grass. Hold the bike across to the apex, and we hold on to the lead. We've actually converted pole position into the lead of the race after the first series of corners. Good strategy at the start, I will admit there from myself, getting across into that slipstream. That was pivotal, and now we just need to put our heads down and try to make a break at the front of this field. But we have found throughout this series that my pace at the start of the race isn't the quickest. It takes me a bit of time to find that rhythm and build that pace up, so that could leave us vulnerable for these first few laps as we head down through Casanova for the first time in this Grand Prix. Into Arrabbiata 1, and Aaron Canet is looking up our inside. We did take a very wide line coming in, and Aaron Canet has pounced on that mistake and takes that lead of the race, relegating us down into second place. And now we just want to find a way back past the Spaniard as quick as we can, using a fair bit of curb there through that right-hander. Scarperia is now through Pelagio. We go, not the exit that we wanted. I was considering it, throwing it up the inside down here at Correntaio, but we didn't get the exit we wanted off Pelagio. Out of the final corner we come. We had a good run through the Biandetti chicane. We've caught up a little bit to Aaron Canet as we are sitting in his slipstream up to the line to end lap number 1 of 9 of this Italian Grand Prix. We are not close enough, 0.6 of a second back to get a proper tow down this front straight. Out of the final corner we come, and we've definitely caught up a bit on this lap to Aaron Canet. Hopefully we are close enough for a nice tow down this very long pit straight here at Mugello. Aaron Canet sets the fastest lap of the race, but I think we did beat that by 0.3 of a second. Yes, we did. But we are still not quite close enough to launch a move down into San Donato, or are we? We got so close there, but not quite close enough to send it up the inside. Oh, a nice run through Cervelli. We did go a little bit wide, but can we look up the inside of Arrabbiata 1 where Canet took our first place away from us? And no, we can't. Not quite close enough on this lap. We are hounding the back of the Spaniard. We have the pace to go with Canet in today's Grand Prix, and we are in a position to fight. Unlike the last round of the championship at Le Mans, we had the pace, we just got caught out at the start. We managed to actually get a decent start this time, and now we're in this position to fight. Now we're just going to find a way past the Spaniard. It doesn't look like Jorge Martin is that close behind us, or actually he might be. That proximity arrow is showing up now. Out of the final corner we come to end lap number 3 of 9, and we are not quite close enough to get a decent tow down this pit straight. The gap is out to 0.4 of a second up to Aaron Canet. Still a little bit of work to do just to gain that last little bit of time so we can launch an attack at the Spaniard. Nice late apex through Borgo San Lorenzo. Are we close enough to look up the inside of Casanova? He's turning in very early there, trying to force us across the curb, and we couldn't quite make that move stick. Some nice defensive riding there from Aaron Canet, and in fact we've actually lost a little bit of time, making a mistake there into Arrabbiata 1, getting way too wide, and this has really cost us quite a lot of time there. The gap has doubled out to 0.8 of a second now, and Jorge Martin is only 2 seconds behind us right there, 2/10 behind us right there on our exhaust. We are really close to the back of Aaron Canet as we come out of the final corner to end lap number 5, trying to get in the slipstream of the Spaniard. We are gaining ever so slightly now. We are starting to get that tow, but I don't think we're going to be close enough to try anything down into turn number 1 as we set the fastest lap of today's Grand Prix. No, we're just a little bit too far back, I think, to try anything on Aaron Canet just yet. But you can see just how close we are getting to the back of that Spaniard's bike. We've had a really nice run through the Biandetti chicane, and we are really close to the back of Aaron Canet as we head down into the final corner. This is the closest I think we have been in quite a while. Back onto the power, into the slipstream of Aaron Canet. We go onto the pit straight. We're going to end lap number 6 and start the third last lap of this Italian Grand Prix, but I don't think we're quite close enough yet again to get the full effect of that tow and make a move on the Spaniard. I just don't know what I have to do to get quite close enough to Canet to launch a move. I've been so close, but never quite close enough. Coming out of Poggio Secco, this next corner, I have been very aggressive on the brakes. I'm a lot quicker than Aaron Canet. Can we just launch it up at the inside? An ultra aggressive move. Yes, we can. Into Borgo San Lorenzo, when we do get that position back into the lead of the race. That is one corner I have been exceptionally quick at compared to Aaron Canet, but I've just never quite been close enough to get it up the inside. But this lap, a good run through the first few corners, set that move up nicely, and we do retake the lead of this race. But oh, I just panicked for a second. I got a bit wide coming into Arrabbiata 1. That is where he originally took the lead off of us, and he tries it into Arrabbiata 2, but around the outside we do hold on to first place for now. Oh, here comes Aaron Canet coming out of Corintaio, getting very close to us. In fact, I think there might have been the slightest of touches, but he wasn't quite close enough to launch a move. And through that Biandetti chicane, I am just so much quicker than the rest of the riders. We've got a little bit of a gap as we head down into the final corner. Hopefully, that run through the Biandetti chicane should be enough just to break the slipstream. As out of the final corner we come onto the pit straight. Aaron Canet is right there. Then you got Jorge Martin and one of the Leopard bikes. I'm guessing Enea Bastianini, but I could be wrong. No, it is actually Lorenzo Della Porta sitting there in 4th place. We have a 4-way battle at the front of this race. Aaron Canet getting a great run. He is heading to our outside down into San Donato. I'm going back up his inside, but I'm running it a little bit too deep. And CANET is back up our inside and taking the lead of the race back off us on the start of the penultimate lap of this Italian Grand Prix. Oh, a nice run through Borgo San Lorenzo, a beautiful late apex. Can we get up the inside, down into Casanova? Yes, we can. And we take that position back into the lead. Is now into Savelli, not the best run through there, I won't lie. And now into the Arrabbiatas. This is probably where I'm struggling most on the circuit. We had CANET get past us at Arrabbiata 1 and try something at Arrabbiata 2 as he goes up our inside, but a nice exit, pushing him a little bit wide, leaning on him ever so slightly, and we retake the lead of this Italian Grand Prix. Not long to go now, less than a lap and a half left. Onto the pit straight for the second last time, up to the line to start the final lap of this Italian Grand Prix. We still have Aaron CANET right there behind us. Looks like Della Porta has gotten past Jorge Martin as we are heading up the straight towards San Donato. Is CANET going to be close enough to try something up our inside? No, he is not. We hold on to the lead for now. Oh, here comes CANET up our inside at Savelli. A beautiful move there. He got a better run through Casanova, and he's taken the lead of this race, and we're not quite close enough to fight back through Arrabbiata 1. We are on the final lap through Arrabbiata 2, getting a little bit wide in between the two corners. We've got a nice run. Can we look up the inside, down into Scarperia? Yes, we can. Up the inside of CANET. Try not to run it too wide and let him get back under us into Pelagio. We hold on to the lead of this race. Only 4 corners to go now, heading down towards Corintaio. I have struggled with the exit of this corner a little bit throughout this race, getting a little bit wide. Aaron CANET trying to force it up our inside, but we have the ideal line there, back on the power, into the Biandetti chicane. Keep it absolutely wide open, the throttle, a beautiful run through there. We've got a little bit of separation. Jorge Martin has now actually found his way up into second place. We've barely seen him all race. He's always been there, but never actually made a move, but now he is coming out on this final lap. But through the final corner we go. Onto the pit straight for the final time. Up to the line we go. Jorge Martin is right there in our slipstream. Is he going to be close enough to get this win off us? No, he is not. And we win the Italian Grand Prix. What a race that was. A battle for the lead, mainly with Aaron CANET, Jorge Martin and Lorenzo Della Porta in there as well for the entirety of that race, and we have come out on top. Another win, our second win of the season, I do believe. And in the end, Aaron CANET, who was fighting us for the lead for so long in that race, has actually not even finished on the podium, finishing down in 4th place. Jorge Martin and Lorenzo Della Porta capitalizing on that final lap to snatch that podium from CANET. Then you got Fabio Di Gianantonio coming home in 5th, Bezzecchi in 6th, Migno 7th, Enea Bastianini 8th, Niccolo Antonelli and Philip Erdl rounding out the top 10. In the Riders' Championship, that late move Jorge Martin made on that final lap has regained him the lead of the championship from Aaron CANET. He now has a 7-point advantage, and that race win has actually jumped us up 2 positions. We are now equal on points with Lorenzo Della Porta for 3rd place, 80 points apiece. That said, we are still 46 points off the lead of the championship, and we have Della Porta's Leopard teammate Enea Bastianini only 2 points behind us, sitting there in 5th place. So pole, race win, and the fastest lap, and we get 1,926 reputation. In terms of development points, another 9,000. Our attributes are all on level 52, except for leaning angle, which is actually up to level 53 now. And I'd say we've probably just gone past the halfway point between dismissal and first rider on the Team Trust, so we are definitely starting to make progress towards that first rider status.
This victory is the cherry on top of an exhausting weekend. If his team keeps working like this, it will be really difficult for his opponents to overtake him.
It really is the cherry on top. Pole, fastest lap, and now the race win. A perfect weekend. Soak it up in Parc Ferme, mate. You've received offers from other teams. Do you want to see them, or do you want to stay at Marinelli Sniper's team? Now, I am going to stay at Marinelli Sniper's team, but I do want to see what the offers actually are. We can move to the Sky Racing Team VR46. We can go to CIP Green Power with John McPhee and Yurchenko. We can go to the SIG 58 squad. That would be a cool team to race for. And then the Sudmental... yeah, that. Philip Erdl's team, Angel Nieto Racing Team, Red Bull KTM IO, we have a lot of offers really, and then of course some of the ones that we have already previously had. We definitely have some very good teams knocking at our door, but I do want to stay with my current team for the rest of the season, I do think. So before we end today's episode, we have 17,000 development points at our disposal. So let's go to the suspension and get that level 2 upgrade, I think, on the hydraulics. Let's do that for 5,000. We only have one more upgrade we can possibly make with the suspension. So let's actually go to the frame now. We still have 13,000 points at our disposal. That's upgrade the lean and the stiffness. Just to keep that sort of balanced sort of upgrade strategy that we are doing. And I think that is all the upgrades that we can make with the points we have available to us. So that is going to do it for this video. Next time out, we head to Barcelona. That is going to do it for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like on the video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe for much more MotoGP 18 content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.